Hello, sport lovers all over the world. This is that time for Sports Today, the best sports magazine program on television. A program where you get to hear and see all the latest happenings in the world of sport. You know you can't get it anywhere else except Africa Independent Television, AIT. I am NTA OTOBONG, your host. As you know, we don't rush. We break it into segments from Sport Roundup to issues in the press and action highlight. But Sport Roundup leads the way. Stay with us.
I don't think it's your season, my brother. The bridge is gonna burn.
You want bet?
This is the last time I bet with you.
Sorry, bro. Only top 3 allowed, bro.
How far now?
Dinner today, oh. It's just not your season, my brother.
Welcome to Sports Roundup. Some football lovers in Abuja, the Nigerian capital, have asked the technical crew of the Super Eagles, headed by Gernot Rohr, to pay attention to the defensive formation of the team. Those who spoke to AIT say the team needs more cohesion, motivation, and zeal if they must win trophies for the country.
The football followers say they are not too impressed with the performance of the team, despite their victory over Zambia.
I am a fan of Super Eagles. But yesterday I was not impressed from the beginning. And when they started, I have some problem with the left full back and the central midfield. But all along, I just thank God that when Iwo became, he changed the game.
It's like it was just a luck that they got that goal. Because all the players, the passes were not connected. The Zambians were playing well a little bit. And it was God that helped us yesterday. We got that victory. And they need to up their game. The way they played yesterday, I was not impressed. And that's the truth. I will advise the coach to work very well, to move around and look for better players. And the government have to come in so that they can support this team, so that they can up their game and play very well. Because sometimes when you
Others want the coach to fortify the squad by scouting for home-based players who could fit into specific positions in the team.
I will advise the coach to work very well, to move around and look for better players. And the government have to come in so that they can support this team, so that they can up their game and play very well. Because sometimes when you see players are playing like that, maybe their needs are not they are not meeting up their needs. Maybe they need support. And we want the coach to go around. He cannot just depend on the foreign-based players. Home-based players, we have players that can play better than that. Honestly, they need to prepare very well for this World Cup coming up 2018.
Nigeria has the opportunity of going further and even going to play final if we put our acts together. Just like what I'm saying, they should give room for most of the home-based players, that's especially defense. Because if you are not scoring, they should not score you. But we concede goals, sometimes cheap goals. So what I'm saying are the coach and the technical crew are supposed to work on our defense. Because they attack. We have prolific attackers that can score. But we should not be considered before going to score. So what I'm saying now is that most of the home bases that we have now, that the central defender should look for somebody that can play central defense very well with Ekong. And the other guy that plays in Germany. You know, if you have those defense to beef up the defense, they will go to go well and go even to the extent of playing final or semi-final in the World Cup.
You know, the team needs to really, the coach, the handlers of this wonderful, young, talented Nigerian side, need to put their ass together, blending. One of the most important aspects here is when we stay together, we play together, you know, and that is just everything we need to do for now. A winning team ought not to be changed for now. And I believe that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of our approach towards every match. We have this mentality of allowing them to come first, like them throwing an attack. Now I want us to go all out and play, and that makes a better team.
They want Super Eagles transformed from being an average team to a squad that can match the tactical prowess of other great footballing nations.
Soccer fans in Gombe State call on the Sport Ministry and the Nigerian Football Federation to ensure early preparation for the World Cup, given the role football plays in uniting the country. A cross-section of these fans spoke to AIT's Chika Odenkwo on their reaction to the Super Eagles qualification to the 2018 World Cup in Russia.
A day after, soccer fans in Gombe State are ecstatic over Nigeria's qualification to the World Cup. The Super Eagles have qualified for Russia 2018, their sixth qualification ever, being the first African nation and being a team united with the focus of qualifying for the Soccer Mundial. This amplifies the message from Governor Ibrahim Hassan Damkwamba, the governor of Gombe State, in which he attributes in his Facebook page, stating that the team's unity perhaps is the moral lesson that could rejuvenate the country's march towards nationhood. That perhaps is the theme of many soccer fans while reacting to Nigeria's soccer qualification to the Soccer Mundial.
They are projecting us in the map of the world that we are one of the superpowers in football. So, and not only football, and every other game that we won within the year should have been a factor that will further unite Nigerians, should have been a factor that should further tell Nigerians that yet we have a country and we are willing, we have stars everywhere. And at the same time, give us very good international publicity that our country has come of age.
You know, it has been a very difficult time for Nigeria over the years. Even to qualify for African Nations Cup, I think 2 or 3 times now we have not been qualifying. I think this time around we've got it and we are going for World Cup. I think it's a good thing for Nigeria.
Early preparation, good materials, these are the things that Nigerians want soccer authorities to use and prosecute the World Cup qualifier. They call on the NFF and the Sports Ministry to intensify preparations for that big soccer fiesta and ensure Nigeria goes for glory.
Those, the handlers of the Super Eagles, either administratively or technically, must be people who have the knowledge of football and the world politics that is involved in winning games like this. So I urge them to continue to sustain the tempo and improve on what they have done so far.
And so the celebrations will continue. As look forward to the Soccer Mundial come 2018, the streets of Gombe will be flooded with soccer fans and looking forward to Super Eagles perhaps winning the World Cup.
Egypt and Poland are the latest countries to book their place in next year's FIFA World Cup. Both countries got the desired win in their respective qualification matches on Sunday to take the number of Russian-bound teams to 15. Egypt edged Congo 2-1 to qualify with 12 points from Group E of the African qualifiers with a game to spare, while Poland beat Montenegro 4-2 to take their points haul to 25 in Group E of the European qualifiers. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah was the hero for Egypt, scoring both of the Pharaohs' goal, which included a late penalty. Egypt had appeared at the FIFA World Cup twice in 1934 and 1990, both hosted by Italy. Poland, on the other hand, are making a return to the biggest soccer showpiece in the world after missing out in the last 2 editions of the tournament. Robert Lewandowski was instrumental in Poland's journey to the Russia 2018 World Cup, scoring a total of 16 goals to become the first European player to score as many goals in a World Cup qualification campaign. The stage is now set for the 2017 Nigeria Football Federation Cup, finally following the conclusion of semi-final fixture. In the second leg of the second semi-final decided on Sunday at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, Akwa United beat Sunshine Stars 3-1 to scale through 3-2 on aggregate. Akwa United will now confront Niger Tornadoes in the final of the competition, now known as ITO Cup. The winner of the ITO Cup will join the third-place team in the MPFL, Enyimba of Aba, to represent Nigeria at the 2017-2018 CAF Confederation Cup. The World Boxing Federation WBF Cruiserweight champion Bashiru Ali has begun intensive training ahead of the forthcoming Guinness Book of Records fight to be staged in Nigeria. The fight is being organized and promoted by the International Boxing Union (IBU). Bashiru, popularly called Bashali by his numerous boxing fans, told AIT Sport at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja that he is ready to display his prowess to the world.
So you can see that I'm training very hard. I've been punching the speed back, skipping rope. I'm doing everything to make sure that I make Nigeria proud. This is an historic event, something that has never happened before in the soul of Africa. 132 countries coming to Nigeria to watch this old man, Bashali, write boxing record. And I'm not going to disappoint.
Bashali also reacted to comments that he could get himself killed in the ring.
Well, I've always said it. I am an extraordinary human being. And extraordinary people do extraordinary things. Ordinary people do ordinary things. So I'm going to break the rules. Number one, I believe in myself, that I'm the best boxer that ever lived. Number two, I'm an extraordinary human being. And I need a fight like this to prove it to the world. That's why I say boxing to shock the world. When this fight happens and I knock out a young, strong white American, whom I'm old enough to be his father, the whole world will stand up and applaud and say, Bashali, you are very great. Don't forget, this fight will be seen in 132 countries. As we are throwing punches here, it's being watched all over the world by an estimated audience of between 10 to 12 million people at the rate of $100 per viewer. So if only 10 million are watching at $100, in one night, we make $1 billion. I repeat, in one night, we make $1 billion. So this is a big fight.
His coach and trainer, Emmanuel Zacchaeus, believes so much in Bashali's ability to deliver.
I see this man as a strong man. And this man is an elderly man, but what a young man can do, this man can do it. I'm assuring the whole Nigeria that Bash Ali should be given chance to fight this world title, which I know that he's not going to disappoint the country.
You know, this training gives us confidence that Bash Ali is going to do good for Nigeria. He's a old man, he's a strong man.
Bashali again appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari, whom he described as the listening president, to facilitate the release of funds to stage the fight in Nigeria as demanded by the IBU. And now to Formula One. Lewis Hamilton took a giant stride towards his fourth world title with victory in the Japanese Grand Prix, as rival Sebastian Vettel retired early. Ferrari's Vettel dropped out 4 laps into the race after slipping down the field from the start with an engine problem. Mercedes driver Hamilton now leads the German by 59 points with 100 available in the remaining 4 races. The Briton will clinch the title at the next race, the United States Grand Prix in Houston, Texas, if he wins and Vettel finishes lower than 5th. Vettel was leading the championship after the Belgian Grand Prix at the end of August. And now to tennis. Caroline Garcia of France defeated new world #1 Simona Halep to win the China Open and overtake Britain Joanna Konta in the race to Singapore. Unseeded Garcia edged Romanian Halep 6-4, 7-6 for a second successive title after victory at the Wuhan Open. She hit 17 winners and saved 9 break points in the second set to move into the 8th and final qualifying spot for the tour final. Konta must now reach the final in Moscow to have a chance of overtaking Garcia. Halep moved to the top of the world ranking following her semi-final victory over Jelena Ostapenko on Saturday. That's Sports Roundup. We'll be back shortly for issues in the press.
Get scores, fixtures, tables, and news in one place. No football with the Google app.
Welcome to Issues in the Press. Today we serve you something outside the usual in our Issues in the Press segment. We have a motorsport expert, Odu Okaro, the CEO of Motocross Nigeria, and he speaks on the prospect of the sport in Nigeria.
What makes you that crazy? Which even some of your group that we have seen, you know, on the road.
Motorsport is not a crazy sport. It's not a crazy sport at all.
Okay.
It's a sport of passion. We watch Formula One, we watch MotoGP, we watch NASCAR. It's a glamorous sport. It's a sport born out of passion. It's a love of machines, and it's a testing of limits of both machine and man. Man has always sought to improve, to test the limits of what he can do. That's what motorsports is about. It's the very pinnacle of sports. For those of us who have a passion for motorsports, we say it's the very pinnacle of sports. It's where the best materials are tested. It's where the best engines are tested. Hopefully, it's also where the best human beings are tested. So if you are not of it, of course, it might appear to you that the people are risking a lot. But this is our life. This is also, in fact, this is also how we want to live our life. It's not everybody that can do motorsports. Similarly, it's not everybody that can be a doctor. Similarly, it's not everybody that can be an engineer or a space or an astronaut. So motorsport, for those of us who like it, is a way of life. It's our own lifestyle. It's what we enjoy. And it's actually our slogan is the best do motorsport. So there's nothing crazy about motorsports.
Nothing crazy about motorsports. But, you know, you take a look at it and for someone, a poor man, to buy one power bike is not a small money. you can't joke about it. I don't have it. I'm in love with it. I want to do it. How do I start? What do I do?
Like I said, first of all, about interest. If you are interested in something or you're passionate about something, you find the means to engage in your passion. Those that ride the bikes, that's their passion. Some of them have cars, some of them don't have cars, but you try to, that's the reason for life. You try to live your dreams. So if your dream has always been to have a power bike, then you want to try to get a power bike. If it's your priority, it's what you get first. If it's not your priority, when you have the means to be able to afford one, you do. Now, the good thing about motorsport, what we are trying to promote, is that it's hopefully going to also create jobs, employ people, and create an opportunity for people to make a living. Abroad, in other parts of the world, motorsport is a big industry. It's not only those that do the sport that are motorsport. There's a whole support industry that goes with it. There's medical, there's TV, like you are now, there's advertising, there's logistics, there's servicing, there's mechanical, there's electrical, there's fabrication. So it creates an opportunity for people to also get jobs, by so doing enrich their own lives. So some can afford the bikes, some can race the bikes, some can watch the races. I mean, okay, if you go to a motorsport event, people are going to be selling you tickets to access the event. People are going to be selling food and drinks there. So it's not just about the rich. It captures the whole strata of the society. Everybody ought to be involved.
The whole spectrum is captured, like you said, you know, but the risk involved, we must also talk about it. Empowering at, you know, let's say 200 kilometers an hour. What are some of the safety measures that I should be thinking about?
First of all, risk is a fact of life. I mean, you can't be, in fact, those of us that ride said that fear doesn't stop death. It actually stops life. You can't live your life afraid of everything. And for those of us that like motorsports, like I said, you consider it risk. You're not involved. You say those people are risking their lives. But that's how we enjoy our lives. So risk is a factor of your perception. For those involved, it is enjoyment. For you that you are not involved, you say it is risk. At the end of the day, what is not risky? Sleeping is risky. Some people sleep and don't wake. So are we not going to sleep? So risk, again, is perception. Of course, like I said, the speeds are one, but again, it's controlled speeds. You don't do 200 kilometers per hour in a market. It's when you, as a rider or as a racer, you've assessed the conditions. Racing is a lot of discipline and concentration. It's not, you can't be not sure of yourself and get on a bike and want to do even 20 kilometers per hour. There are people that have gone 60 kilometers and have crashed, unfortunately killed people. Trucks and trailers don't go too fast, and they kill people. So it's not speed. It is, are you in a position to be able to control whatever speed? If you are doing 40 kilometers per hour and you plow into a market, it's as risky, if not more, than someone doing 200 kilometers in the desert. So motorsport is racing in a controlled environment, and the racers are disciplined enough to know their limits, the limits of their machine, and what the environment around them, what speed is commensurate with the environment they are in. So it's not a reckless sport. In fact, like I said, the best of everything is what is involved in motorsports. From your bikes have to be at the best, you yourself have to be at the best, your brakes have to be at the best, your tires have to be at the best. Okay, for our events, and this is what for our events, even if you want to play volleyball, you need to have medical people on hand. Even more so in motorsport. We have a fully, in fact, the last event we had 2 doctors on hand, 4 nurses, and we had a well-stocked ambulance. So there's not an accident has not happened, but we are prepared for an eventuality. It's safer than any other driving or riding you are doing anywhere in Nigeria. It's actually safer. You know that, God forbid, if there's going to be an accident, I have medical people, well-trained, well-resourced, ready to attend to you immediately. Where else do you have that kind of advantage? Where else in the country? It doesn't happen. So at the end of the day, we don't pray for accidents, but there's a chance for it to happen, and we've taken adequate measures to make sure that we are able to respond as quickly as we can to make sure that the person doesn't suffer any undue stress or pain.
We've seen you beautiful cars unveiled, motorbikes unveiled, all in Lagos, and it's pointed to one particular event, and people have been looking forward to this. What are we expecting in the month of November?
Thank you very much. Since 2012, I think AIT has been a partner in our drive to promote motorsports in this country. As an industry on its own, we can't all play football. Some of us have to do some other sports, and we think motorsport is a vehicle that we want to explore. We've been doing since 2012, thanks to AIT and other media houses that have been helping to showcase a little of what we are doing. Every year we hold what we call the annual Superbike race. It's actually called the Bikers Trophy. We'll be holding it. This is the 5th year, and we're hoping that this year's race on the 25th of November coincides with the launch of Nigeria, some say West Africa's first racing track facility.
You talk about the talent. A lot of people are thinking about grassroots. You started with the grassroots because I saw some of the winners of the bikes, that actually took place at Bubanoza. But in growing it, we have students, who may have the passion in different secondary schools or even in the universities. What do they do?
Yeah, first of all, our website, we need to know them. We are going to create a link on our website for carriers. That's if you want a carrier in motorsports. Because like I said, there are so many aspects. Even vulcanizing is a career in motorsport, because tires are very important to motorsports. Mechanics. And then the teams are going to also have drivers. Either the bike race teams or the car race teams, they're going to have drivers. They're going to do their own recruitment. At the end of the day, they want to win. You know what I'm saying? So with time, people that want to have this career, we have opportunity to engage with us, engage with those that know more than us, and then the good thing is that we now have a venue. Hopefully by November, we now have a venue where, if this is your passion, this is what you want to do, you know where to go to. You can reach us online, and then we'll spread what best fits you, what is your passion.
We want to wish you the best of luck, and to tell you that that communications AIT is always partnering those who want to forge ahead with a development like this. You can be rest assured that we will continue to give our support.
It's a pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
I don't think it's your season, my brother. Bridge is gonna burn. You want bet? This is the last time I bet this week. Sorry, bro. Only top 3 allowed, bro. How far now? Dinner today, oh. It's just not your season, my brother.
It's time now for action highlights.
Shehu and Carlo in the area. Iwobi. It's a back from Mikel. Attempted flick through from Ikalo. Shehu, Moses, Ikalo. And there it is. Iwobi, the substitute, with the opening goal on 73 minutes, and quite possibly it's the strike that sends Nigeria through to next year's World Cup in Russia. Nigeria leads by 1-0. The ball in low from the right by Shehu, met by Iwobi, and his strike flashing past Mwini in the Zambia goal. He scored in Ndola almost a year to this day, and he's done it again against Zambia. Alex Iwobi, Nigeria's man of the moment. Moses blocked off initially. The ball ran through to Shehu, and Mwini unsighted as the strike came in low from Iwobi.
Get scores, fixtures, tables, and news in one place. No football with the Google app.
Hope you enjoyed every bit of the highlight. That's it for the day. Sure you enjoyed every part of the program. Until we come your way Wednesday for a fresh edition, I am NTA OTOBONG. Thanks for staying with us.